Hello everyone, I'm Baruffy1322 and in this video I'm going to be showing the fastest fully upgraded front wheel drive vehicles around a circuit. If you want to know how all cars perform in a variety of different classes and formats, check the annotation on the screen or the link in the description for the full playlist of videos. If a front wheel drive vehicle isn't in this list, then it's either too slow, can't be stored as a personal vehicle, or was released after this video was published and is featured in an update video. But of course feel free to subscribe for future updates. So in 10th place, the 10th best front wheel drive vehicle in the game is the Volcar Ingot. Pretty much a classic sedan, station wagon, however you want to call it. It's only the 17th quickest sedan in the game, so not very quick. With a 1 minute 25.9, there's a hell of a lot of cars that are quicker than this, but it is the 10th best front wheel drive vehicle in the game. Now there aren't very many front wheel drive vehicles, and most of them are actually sedans or compacts. So the 9th place vehicle is our first compact, and it is the Dilettante. So the 6th best compact, the slowest compact in the game, about 2 seconds quicker than what we've just seen from the Ingot. Obviously, its main strength is acceleration, but it's not very quick overall because it is a hybrid vehicle. So yeah, it doesn't get the transmission upgrade as well. So it's not that great, let's put it that way, but it is our 9th quickest front wheel drive. In 8th is the Prairie. The Prairie takes a big jump in lap time from the Dilettante there with 1 minute 18.1, so we're getting into some sort of reasonable lap times for the cars that we're seeing here. A 1 minute 18.1 is not too bad, it's still a fair bit off the pace of a lot of the other cars in the game, but for the compacts class, obviously it's our 5th best compact. It's all reasonably close in the compacts class from this point, as we saw from the compacts video. So in 7th place is the Issi. Again, all of these compacts, all of these front wheel drive vehicles are very close together at this point with a 117.6 for the Issi. Yeah, the front wheel drive cars surprisingly are all very, very close together. There aren't a lot of them. There's only a small number of front wheel drive vehicles in the game, and they all seem to be reasonably close, apart from maybe the number 1 spot. So it would be interesting to have a front wheel drive class where we could race all of these together, and not have them separated by compacts or sedans or whatever. But it does seem that compacts and sedans pretty much cater to the vast majority of front wheel drive vehicles in the game. The Blister is obviously next in 6th place with a 117.5, only just a little bit quicker than the Issi, a little bit more stable than it as well though. But all front wheel drive vehicles that we're seeing here have very, very similar styles to them. It's the front wheels that are driving them, so you do tend to get a bit of understeer from them, and you do have to be careful around those corners. The Sage is up next with a 116.3, a little bit quicker than what we just saw from the Blister. Obviously the Sage's main strength is acceleration because again it's an electric vehicle, doesn't get transmission upgrade or anything like that, so it does suffer a little bit on overall pace because of that. Our 13th best sedan in the game, the 5th quickest front wheel drive vehicle in the game, and just ahead of it in 4th is the Premier, which is our 12th best sedan in the game. So you can see a bit of a trend here. We've had 4 compact cars in from 9th to 5th and 9th to 6th, sorry, and now we've got quite a few sedans, which is what you're going to see. As I said, sedans and compacts pretty much cater to the front wheel drive vehicles. With a 116.3, the Premier is only a tiny little bit quicker than the Sage, more so in cornering capabilities. And in 3rd place we've got the Acia, which is our 11th best sedan, so just ahead of the Premier in the sedans class with a 116.2, so again very, very close. The Acia is very, very similar to the Premier in terms of driving style. They're both reasonably good around the corners, just like a lot of sedans. They've got more traction than they can really use, so they're all very good around the corners, especially when you put spoilers on them to give them a little bit extra. With a 116.2, from 3rd all the way down to 5th, we've had 3 cars that are all very, very close on lap time, and because they're all front wheel drive vehicles as well, they've just got similar characteristics and similar driving styles to go with that as well. Now in 2nd place we take a little bit of a jump and a bit of a different style here with the Blister Compact. This is the worst sports car in the game. It's 26th best in sports, which is at the very bottom, but it gets a 1 minute 15.6, which isn't that much quicker than what we've just seen from the Premier or the Acia or the Surge, or even some of the compact cars that we saw. So it baffles me that the Blister Compact still isn't in the compact class. You know, it's amazing that it's in the sports class, because it just it makes no sense to have it in the sports class because it's so slow. And really, I would like to see all of the cars that we've seen in this video up to this point be put into a front wheel drive class, or be put into the compact class themselves, because it would make it a lot more interesting than what it is now. But ultimately, the best front wheel drive car in the game is the Pigalle. You know, you're not going to look beyond this. It's completely dominant in terms of front wheel drive vehicles. You know, a full 5 seconds per lap quicker than the next best of the Blister Compact. It's the second best sports car in the game, sports classic car in the game. It just has so much traction around the corners, and that's what allows it to be able to sort of go at the Z-Type and really take the lap time to the Z-Type, especially on tight and twisty tracks in the sports classics class. But when you're just talking about front wheel drive vehicles, the Pigalle is easily the best. You know, obviously, again, with all front wheel drive vehicles, you do have to be wary of a bit of understeer, but it's just, you know, it's just in a different league completely. So yeah, the front wheel drive vehicles, you know, there aren't that many of them in the game. As we've seen, you know, there's a big gap between the first and the 10th best there of 15 seconds. But I do think it would be interesting to have a lot of these cars all in the same class, apart from maybe the Pigalle, because they are all reasonably close together from in terms of front wheel drive vehicles and in terms of lap time. So yeah, it's a shame that we aren't able to race all these, but it's pretty much sedans and compacts that pretty much rule the roost with this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hoped it helped. Let me know what you thought down below. Are you excited to see rear wheel drive and all wheel drive versions of this video, which are going to be coming out soon as well? Obviously, be sure to subscribe for that as well. Check the link for the playlist as well for previous videos with different classes and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I really do appreciate your support. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.